Oh no. Oh no. Look what I just found. Oh, this could be dangerous. This could be dangerous. As I check out the brand new Ford Ranger Raptor. Yes, it's the Ranger Raptor. And this will be the first time I have actually seen this vehicle in person. Thank you, sir. This is actually the 2024 Ranger Raptor. And first time seeing it in person, touching it, and is it what everybody says it is? Which it is pretty cool. It is pretty beefy for a little truck, but it definitely has that little truck personality, which is actually kind of cool. And what's the interior look like? Yeah, the good old yes. Do I get to drive it? I don't know. Stay tuned. Yes, it's the Ford 2024 Ranger Raptor, and it's so incredible how it has that full-size look, but yet it doesn't have the full-size look because of that Ranger cab. If you're familiar with the Ranger, you know what I'm talking about. But it's so incredible on how this does have that the full-size Ranger, or I should say the full-size Raptor look. Really cool. It is a nice-looking vehicle. They just got it in. They want stupid money for it. But I've talked to the sales guy and kind of told him the reality of what is, and he doesn't have a problem with me test driving this vehicle. So that's very nice of him. And the interior is pretty cool. Definitely nice trimmed out interior. The velour right here. The rubber area for you to put your phone. Nice infotainment center. Charging station. I really like the shifter. I like the accents. That's really cool. The door. The Ford Performance there. The typical running board steps. Yeah, the back seat. This is a little bigger vehicle, so it's a bigger platform. The new generation Ford Ranger. And I've had a bunch of these. I've had like 4 or 5 of the previous generation. So it really is a bigger footprint. And I mean, it really does give you that full-size Raptor feel. But it's just interesting how that cab back here, then it kind of gives it away with that angle of that cab, which it kind of kept that Ranger look to it. And factory mud flaps, spray-in bed liner. Is it the automatic? No, it's just actually your does not have the automatic tailgate lift, which it's not that heavy a tailgate, so I can kind of get that. What other accessories? Has your power volt for your 120 and the beadlock wheels, which that's pretty cool. Then the suspension, the architecture. In some ways, I guess you could say this is the Bronco Raptor in some ways, as they are built at the same factory, but I'm not in that depth to tell you if it's exactly the same. I don't think it is. I think the Raptor Bronco has a little bit more, but Ford really makes a big mistake on the engine compartment. They should give this more of a flare on the trim. When you go to the inside of this vehicle, it's just so lame. You know, it's the rat's nest. Why don't put a nice Raptor plastic cover over all this? Just makes no sense. This is the V6 3-liter motor, which is in the Bronco Raptor. It's in my Explorer ST. It's a true and tried motor. Looks like it has the mirrors. What if this has Blue Cruise? Do you know? This has Blue Cruise. That would be pretty cool.
Do a 90-day trial.
Okay, but it has the capability. I'm kind of keeping the sales guy out of the video. I don't think he's excited about being on my video. So here is the seat. It's electric. That's nice. The seats feel really good. They don't feel too tight. Kind of like getting these performance vehicles. Sometimes you get the Recaro effect, and if you're a big guy, you don't necessarily like that. I like the stick shifter, or I should say the automatic shifter. The console, decent amount of storage, comfortable. But now the real question is, how does she drive going down the road? And it will be interesting to see if this really does have the Blue Cruise. And they did a better job with the screen. It kind of does mold in with the car. So that looks really cool. The accents, orange, the old Baja. They put this little orange thing in the steering wheel because they claim you're out Baja and big time. You know where the center of the steering wheel is, which that's kind of intriguing. Paddle shifters. Probably has an exhaust note. It does. That's pretty cool. Different settings, R settings. So this will have the different drive modes. We got to take it for a ride. Gabbing, time to drive. All right, so now here we are, and it's the it just feels like a little sporty truck. So it does have the real small footprint. Even though it's a bigger footprint Ranger, it still does give you that kind of really cool feel of having a smaller truck. And she can just right out of the gate here, just not even getting into her, I can feel how she has plenty of power. And I just sold my Ford Bronco Raptor, really anticipating this would be a better vehicle to own for, in so many ways, half the price if you didn't option out too much and you'd have to pay ADM or whatever it may be. So now as we head down the road here, there's the police behind us, I believe. Yep, policeman behind us, so we don't get too crazy here. So, as always, the Ford product, you got to go to the different modes. This is the drive mode right there. I think it is. So, if you turn that, it'll go to different settings on your screen here. Off-road, Baja, rock crawl. So, we're going to go the other way. So, we're going to go to sport. So, there's the sport. Here's the car. So, now we're in the sport mode, and instantly you can feel how this engine has more life to it. And that is the personality of all these Ford vehicles, is you got to go to sport to really open up that ECM to give you the true power out of the vehicle, which really is, and I didn't know that for many years. So it's very important anybody drives these Ford vehicles, make sure you go to the drive modes, you change it into sport from normal. And so the shifting patterns are different and all that other good stuff. But now what's really neat is this thing has the exhaust capability. But let's just see what the R does for us. What does the R do? So now that's interesting. I hit the wrong button. So R, there's the mode settings. It shows where I can kind of go into different. So press R to enter the mode. So you can create your own mode, I guess. But what I'm curious about though is the exhaust node. Sport, Baja, and it'll tell you off-road use only. Okay, well, I hear you. There you go. Yeah, she's got a little bit of a personality there. Not too bad for the V6 lovers out there, because if you're a true motorhead, the V6 really isn't ever going to make you happy. They'll always try to give you something, but you're always going to be that true V8 Ice Age personality. If we go right here, this goes all the way around circle, right? So this one or the next one? Next one up. All right, so I was going to do the circle around the office park and go on back without the policeman coming to visit me up in front of us here. So he's going to keep us tamed down for a while. But overall, really comfortable at the light or here. Yep. So this really is a comfortable truck. And I mean, it really is. It's a great truck. I mean, I really would. Here's the thing, I want one. All right, so now we're going around the office park here, and you know, we're not really getting this thing way up the road, but I can tell you just from driving this vehicle, it's extremely tight. It really is a fun vehicle. This is anybody out there looking for a mid-sized truck, and I've done a lot of research, and believe it or not, even though the new Toyota Tacoma TRD Pro, which I've been a Toyota Tacoma guy most of my life, I've had a lot of pros, but no way. Actually, the car journalists are calling out the new Tacoma Pro, and they are saying you would be better off buying a Ford Ranger Raptor or the ZR2 Colorado, the Chevy product, the Bison edition, whatever it may be, and you're going to save yourself a lot of money. This is a $59,000 vehicle. That Toyota product, you're at about $67,000, $68,000, but it's not as fun. It doesn't have the paddle shifters, and it doesn't have the same type of suspension, and so I really got called out. But just driving so far and being the Bronco guy, I've had a ton of wild tracks, and this is not a Bronco. So even though somebody'd say, yeah, but you just bought yourself a Bronco, it's a different personality. It really is. And this gives you more light. What's really nice about this, it's a more compact interior because it's a four-door truck. My gripe about the four-door Broncos is it's too dark. It's just so dark in that vehicle. And this here has an overhead light, so you can see here it has an overhead light for the convenience you get in the car. Upfitter, switches for all the infinite things you can do for this vehicle. So yes, the thing is, if you can buy one, I feel like if you buy this thing at MSRP, I think you've done well. If you start paying the stupid ADM, you're now really borderline into a used Bronco Raptor. Bronco Raptors are now at 80-ish. So if you got into this thing for the ADM, is all I'm saying to your channel, you got to be careful. If you got into an ADM of 10, 15 grand over, I don't know. I think you might want to step back and say, is there a used Raptor Bronco out there? Even though this is a whole different animal, I think this is more fun in some ways because it's a lighter vehicle. This is going to be a faster vehicle. And it's a truck. And you're going to get all the fun of doing all this stuff with the, just really, and I'm not the owner of this, so I don't want to rag it out, but look. Oh, yeah. More than just yeah. Yeah, you're going to get yourself in trouble in this. And I already tell the behavior of this up in the open road, 70, 80 miles an hour. This is a bigger footprint than the previous generation. Now, I have had the previous generation Rangers, and I always called them the old man's truck because it was a very soft suspension. It really, I think the younger generation was more excited about the Tacomas and even the Chevy Colorados and GMC Canyon to a degree because it was a little bit more of a stiffer ride. And the Ford Ranger was just notorious for kind of having that really lazy man's type of feel. And this has none of that personality. And I have not driven the brand new Ranger itself, but this gives you a very beefy, sporty, gives you the manly type of feel of a vehicle. And if you really go back to my era growing up as a kid, back in the 70s, this vehicle in so many ways is the size of a full-size Ford truck back in that era. It's hard to believe. And even the capabilities, this is a Raptor, so you can't get the extreme on the towing capability. But heck, I had a Ford Maverick, and I pulled a 4,000-pound trailer with it, and I was blown away with that little Maverick with the 4K tow max capacity had and what it did. So anybody out there, really on the fence of shopping around for a nice, fun, aggressive Raptor, but I think the challenge is going to be initially you're not going to be able to get them. I think that's going to be a challenge. You're going to have to set it out. It's going to probably be a good year before these things kind of start populating where they're on the average dealer's lot. So that would be my assumptions, because if you can get one for 54, 56, 59, however it's optioned out, I think you've done really well. And I can just tell you right now that it really is a free-spirited, fun truck. And it's tight as all get out. And you mean, dude, can you say for yourself, this is just a really tight, can you feel kind of how this is just a really neat truck? This really is. For me, I want to give up my Raptor 37 for this. That's my goal. So that's my challenge. But you just got the Raptor 37, and I spent 2 years trying to find one for a deal. Yeah, right. And then I got one, and now what I want? I really want the Raptor R, but the market's not there yet for me. Just too salty still. But wow. Last. And for me, I've got an iconic silver on order that one day will come in. But the black really is quite nice. So, sales guy here, I don't want to put him on the spot, so I've kind of kept him out of the video. But overall, just I don't have to put you on the spot. But are you liking it?
I love it.
Would you get
the
one?
Style, yeah, the new styles are great.
Right. Have you actually driven though just a non-Raptor?
I have.
How do you like that?
They did a lot of good things to them. Like you said, they're a little bigger now than they used to be. All of them have bigger screens, so the upgrades that they've made to them are night and day from where they were before. So.
But it doesn't feel like this.
No, this is definitely easier, more fun.
Right, yeah, like I say, I call it the gentleman's truck, the Ranger, because it has that softer appeal to it. Wow. Yeah, would I love to be able to buy this today? I would. Yeah, does that play out? You never know in the Ice Age TV adventure, so stay tuned. Wow, this has the trailer tow package on it. That's pretty cool. That enables you to do electric trailer. It's pretty cool. I like that. All right, get out of this thing. All right, there it is. Now, to me, I think they could have done a little better on the exhaust tips. I think the exhaust tips could have been blacked out and maybe a little different angle. But nice truck, really is. And there's a Ford Raptor over there. So yeah, all right. I'll quit talking so the gentleman here can do what he's got to do.